over managing and taking him out, going to Storen, who's usually a pretty, a decent closer, and he blows it. What's your take on what Matt Williams did?
Yeah, it's maybe a rookie manager mistake. Where this is for his first time managing, let alone first time in the postseason. So he's going to probably overthink a few different things, but he does have a pretty good staff on hand that's kind of able to kind of help him walk through some of this stuff, especially when you look at having Steve Acati there. That's a big help. So it was interesting. I wouldn't necessarily blamed him for going, to Storen there. Storen's done a great job, especially since he's picked up, all the slack pretty much in the closer role since Soriano's gone down. And so, Soriano kind of ended up blowing up towards the end of the year, and he came in pretty strong, and was able to kind of help them, maintain that huge lead that they ended up building up over Atlanta. But when you really look at it, this is, I think a lot of teams, or a lot of people, particular analysts, kind of felt that Washington had a really good, step up on everybody else, having the pitching that they did, having, the solid bullpen that they did. And, it was just kind of unfortunate the way things have panned out for them so far, knowing that they had such a great, 1-2 punch there. And then now, the good thing for them is knowing that they'll be able to go to, Doug Fister against Madison Bumgarner here. And, their rotation is so solid, there is a chance, I think, out of all the teams that are left here, they're in an ugly position, with their backs up against the wall. Washington probably has, the greatest ability to, be able to come out of that, knowing that they do have enough, offensive firepower. So it's all a matter of just kind of getting everybody back on track and kind of, just thinking about taking it one game at a time. I know, obviously, it sounds very, cliche to say that, but when you're in the position that you're in right now, that's all you can do.
Looking at, you say they're in a good position with Doug Fister, but they're going up against Madison Bumgarner, who's one of the best young pitchers in the game. If they get past that game, the next two, yeah, they should be able to win those next two. But what are their chances of getting past that next one? Is that, you can't feel 100% confident, especially the way he's pitching in Pittsburgh.
Right. Well, you got to think, dude. They have 4 hitters, this season that they had at least 80 RBI. When you look at having Denard Span there, and he's out there to prove himself, that he's worthy of getting that big contract. And then you also have Jason Work, who's pretty much stepped up, just every chance that he's had, even considering the fact that he's been injured for most part of the season. He still battled through all that. You ended up getting Bryce Harper back, and, and he's finally, it looks like maybe he's finding the groove. Got really hot in August and September, ended up hitting 10 home runs. And he's only 21 years old, so, that's, I think, kind of hard for a lot of people to imagine, just knowing how long you've been hearing his name. So, Rendon, he's done a great job, so there's a variety of hitters there, that are capable of getting to a guy. And even though Baumgartner's been there, done that, and has been dominant, it's just one of those things. It's the postseason, so you kind of live up to whatever kind of extra oomph these guys are going to be able to get out of it. It's going to be tough on the road, but like I said, I do feel that with the strong offense that Washington has, I wouldn't be surprised. Even if it is just 1 or 2 runs, it is something where Doug Fister can hold them to that. Doug Fister's probably been actually one of the better pitchers on Washington's staff this year, even though you did have Strasburg did kind of establish himself more so as the ace. For the first time, pitching as high as he has, and he actually got better once he got off the mark where he got cut off in 2012 when they headed to the postseason. So, when you really look at it, seeing what a great season Fister's had, he can shut down that San Fran lineup, relatively easily. And if Washington's able to manage 1 or 2 runs, get past them, and then once they get out to games, 4 and 5, they got a pretty good chance of winning them.
Dodgers, Cardinals. You got the battle of being gritty and smart with your money and, kind of grinding everything out. And then you got spending as much money as possible on the dumbest possible people as you possibly can. What is your take on this Dodge? I mean, it's the battle of, polar opposites and polar opposite fans. I mean, the players that I've coached that are Cardinals fans tend to be my smartest players and my most gritty players. The ones that are Dodgers/Yankees fans tend to be the dumber players, to put it nicely. What's your take on this series so far as Cardinals, Dodgers? Kershaw blows it, and then, Matt Carpenter's been the hero in the, both games. What's your take on this series so far?
Man, why don't you tell us how you really feel, Bob? I mean, I don't know. I think when you look at the Dodgers, Clayton Kershaw is a really intelligent guy. So is Zach Greinke. They got a variety of guys that are pretty smart.
Let me stop you right there. I'm not saying the players on the Dodgers are dumb. At least not the pitchers. I'm saying the people that root for the Dodgers are dumb.
That's even worse. They always ripping on the fans, man. God. How does anybody listen to your show and all you do is pick on them, Bob?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no, that's all right. You sound like one of the. If you want to let me rip on you, I don't know if you heard about what the mayor his open letter regarding how St. Louis baseball is so much better than everything else, and kind of gave a little dig at Chicago there. I don't know, man. You better watch out for the Cubs. They're coming soon here. They're building up that offensive core, and they're going to start spending some money here. So once they start spending some money, get that new TV deal, that Dodger deal. I don't expect Theo and Jed to spend foolishly. They're going to go out there and get some big names, spend smart, keep doing what they're doing. But the Dodgers, in terms of what they've been able to do, I think Yasiel Puig, he's ended up turning out great for them. D. Gordon finally find a spot for him. I think you're probably going to see Andre Ethier. He kind of seems appear to be the odd man out, with Matt Kemp finally finding his groove. Hanley Ramirez, he's probably on his way out with all the injury problems he's had. But, I mean, when you do look at all the big names that they have, they've been a really solid team all year round where, their offense has finally, been able to find their offensive stride. They ended up having, two guys over 400, and then, I think it was, 5 guys that were batting over 300 in August and September, and then you see Carl Crawford. He finally got hot and, eventually turning into, maybe not necessarily having the speed, but, kind of more of the player that they were expecting to get. So, sure, might be, kind of foolish and a lot of money, but when you really look at it, they have been at least able to, put together, a relatively good team this year. And so we'll see what happens come this offseason when they make a couple of changes. But, it's going to be tough. I mean, they do have the bats to kind of, dig themselves out of this hole, but St. Louis, now it's kind of coming to that point where they're, a little bit shakier in their rotation. They're going to end up going to Shelby Miller, and we'll kind of see how that all goes. But it will be interesting, that's for sure.
Johnny, 2 things before I let you go. Tell me who is going to match up in the World Series. Second, tell me where we can find you on the Twitter and the Instagram, which is always entertaining, and the internets, as they call it.
Yes. Yeah, I am all over the place. I'm going to have to say, when you really break it down, I'm going to have to say it's probably going to be Baltimore and San Fran. I think San Francisco has enough to kind of outlast St. Louis, even though, it seems like they might be the favorites right now with the Dodgers playing the way they are. But Baltimore, great pitching, great defense, and they've been able to, come up with that big power. So that's been a big help to them, and it's kind of helped them get to where they're at. I think, in the long run, they'll be able to outlast Kansas City just because they're more of a steady team and kind of have everything, pretty steady. So I'll save my World Series winner for our next talk here. But you can find me at MALIORIS on Twitter. You can also find me at Cubs Clock, which will be my new website that'll be coming out relatively soon. CubsClock.com. Otherwise, you can find me. I have a pretty good episode of me and Ghostbusters 3 on YouTube. Check out Strangely Educational. You can see me do some of my acting, maybe not even necessarily acting. It's kind of just one of the shows I host. It's like a Jackass meets Dirty Jobs. And so, yeah, no, I'm working on all sorts of things, and I'll be definitely sure to keep everybody updated on where I'm at and what I'm doing and all my fun stuff.
Awesome, Johnny. Well, I appreciate you coming on. We'll definitely talk again next week. Some MLB and all that good stuff. And, have a good week. I missed the coffee talks.
The coffee talks. Yeah, we'll get those going. We'll get coffee talks going. Maybe we'll get a minute with Dolores here relatively soon, maybe next time around, all right?
All right, sounds good, buddy. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you much. Be good.
Try.